On today's show, we're going to dive into some Declan Doyle replacements as the Bears' offensive coordinator is off to Baltimore to call plays for Lamar Jackson and company. So we'll take a look at a couple different categories of guys here. You look at some internal candidates here. JT Barrett, the quarterback's coach. Kind of like Declan, right? Young guy, 30 years old, different background in terms of he was a player, big-time quarterback at Ohio State, had a cup of coffee in the NFL. He's been with Ben for a few years now, going back to Detroit. Was also in New Orleans before that, so kind of comes from that Sean Payton background, which we know Ben Johnson has poached from before. So he's certainly an interesting option. I think he would be my top internal choice if I were to bring or to promote internally from this coaching staff. Now, looking at the other two guys, if we want to circle back real quick to talk about them real quick. Antwaan Randle, wide receivers coach and the associate head coach. He certainly would be an option. I think he would be in play as well. And then Press Taylor, who's been an OC before, pass game coordinator for this staff, certainly could be or could get a promotion also. Then maybe you'd hire externally to fill his role. So all those three guys, I would think, would get some level of a look from Ben Johnson. Don't forget either, Will Lawing, the offensive coordinator from Boston College, was reportedly hired by Ben Johnson. Is he just the guy, young offensive mind that he was teammates with at North Carolina? Or could it be one of those, they promote one of these other guys and he fills that role? Hey, Press is now the offensive coordinator. Will Lawing is the pass game coordinator. So I think all those different dominoes are certainly possibilities as Ben Johnson works through this, as he puts this, these couple of pieces together on the 2026 coaching staff. Who is your favorite internal option for the Bears offensive coordinator? I will say this, I do wonder if Eric Bieniemy would have gotten a big look had he not already taken the Chiefs job. I don't know if that would have stopped him from going, but that could have been an interesting name to consider as well. Okay, let's go through some external offensive coordinator options. Tanner Engstrand, I think, is a name to note here. The Jets OC that got fired last week, worked with Ben in Detroit from 2020 to 2024. He was the passing game coordinator in those last 2 years. That's when the Lions offense was awesome, especially in 2024, one of the best offenses in the 21st century statistically. I think from an external option standpoint, this would make a ton of sense. He now has play calling experience as an offensive coordinator. He's someone that Ben trusts, which is most important in this role because it's a non-play calling role, and he can kind of just rebuild his stock a little bit after things did not go well with the Jets. So I definitely think he's going to be someone that we see rumors on. How about David Shaw? So David Shaw interviewed both for the head coaching position and the offensive coordinator position last year. I thought he was going to get the OC gig, but they went with Declan Doyle, which obviously ended up being a great decision. But he could certainly be in play here once again for this job. He did not get promoted to OC in Detroit, so this would be a forward move for David Shaw as he's kind of been rebuilding his image over the last couple of years. Plus, he also worked under Sean Payton in Denver in the front office a couple of years ago, which again, there has been connections to Sean Payton staffers in the past for Ben Johnson as he's put together a couple of staffs now in Chicago. Okay, we'll take a look at a few more candidates here in just a moment, but first, got to tell you about our awesome sponsor. That is Rocket Money. Grow your savings today with Rocket Money, a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and help lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Literally, they can help lower your bills. How do they do that? They will kind of scan the internet and do the legwork for you. Hey, you can find this pricing on your electric bill compared to what you're currently paying. Hey, this phone provider is offering a better monthly service than what you're currently doing. So they will try to find you the best prices available. You can set budgets within the Rocket Money app, and they will send you alerts on a weekly basis, keep you on track with your spending and with your savings. My wife and I bought a house recently, and Rocket Money helped us get there because a couple years ago we were determined to save up and to be able to do just that. And we've been able to cut back where needed, and we were able to buy a house, which is obviously awesome. And if you're using Rocket Money to its fullest potential, you could save hundreds of dollars per year, literally hundreds of dollars per year. So let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/bearsnow. That is rocketmoney.com/bearsnow. rocketmoney.com/bearsnow. Best financial app in the game. It's a game changer. Go check it out. Okay, Scottie Montgomery, who's been the running backs coach this year, the last couple years, receivers coach, and the assistant head coach in Detroit. Now, offensive coordinator title would still be a forward move, and if he wants to add that to his resume, that would certainly be interesting. Obviously, overlapped with Ben Johnson in 2023 and in 2024, so there's a connection there in place. I think there was a rumor last year that maybe Ben would try to bring him on board in some capacity, but it ended up not happening. Maybe this time around, it would be a possibility if they wanted to do just that. How about Hank Fraley? This one's pretty interesting. So he's been the offensive line coach, which he still is, but got the run game coordinator title this past season. Now, the Lions' run game wasn't great this past year, so take that for what it's worth. But he could certainly help in that regard. Could help with the offensive line. They already have Dan Rochar, but how long is Dan Rochar going to coach? I mean, he was kind of semi-retired when Ben Johnson called him. Certainly seems like Rochar is going to do at least another year, but having Fraley in the building could certainly help. He's done a great job with the Lions' offensive line over the past several years, so I would certainly be open to that. And again, it's a non-play calling role, so it's not like you need someone who is just a genius play caller or something like that. You need someone that Ben can trust to do some of the heavy lifting throughout the week. This is why you subscribe to the channel. We have news all off season long. We're hitting you with updates every single day, so hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications here on Chicago Bears Now. Okay, John Morton, who Dan Campbell hired last year to be the OC. Campbell had to strip play calling from him mid-season and then ended up letting him go. So on the surface, you're like, why would we want that guy? Well, again, the Sean Payton connect. He overlapped with Ben in Detroit. And again, he's a guy that now has gotten play calling experience, but you don't need him to be the play caller. You just need him to be someone Ben trusts. Now, he's in his mid-50s, so you'd probably rather go younger. I think that was the big appeal for Declan Doyle. It's like, hey, I need someone who can put in long hours that can keep me up to speed while I'm doing other tasks while preparing for the game plan against the opponent that week. So that's why I think he's circling back to the thought of like a JT Barrett, 30 years old, that guy can work 16 hours a day, and it's not really an issue. So, you're going to bring in someone you can trust more than anything else, and that can put in the legwork required. So Ben's ready to go on game days when he's calling these games. I'll just throw some long shot options at you. I mean, they'd be high on my list because they're already getting head coach interviews. Davis Webb, it sounds like he's going to get promoted to OC in Denver, but until that happens, this would technically be an upward move. And then Nathan Shieldhouse, if Mike LaFleur leaves, he'd probably get a promotion there as well. But if he doesn't, then an OC in Chicago would be an upgrade. It feels like Ben would be more interested in Webb with the Sean Payton tree. He hasn't really gone after the Shanahan tree guys, so that would be my guess. I don't even know if the Bears will try to get these guys on board because, again, are they going to leave their post for non-play calling jobs? Probably not, but I did want to mention them because they're obviously viewed as very sharp and young offensive minds. Who do you want as the Bears offensive coordinator now that Declan Doyle has left for the Baltimore Ravens? Let us know down in the comment section below. And on the way out, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We would greatly appreciate it. We will see you guys very, very soon. Plenty of content all weekend long. Subscribe and bear down.